jolt and then you'll die.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Exquisite back with a brand new video for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed that first clip of Donovan. That's a little showcase or trailer for the new 5-star that's coming out. He looks like he does pretty good damage, but I wasn't really paying attention. I think those are pretty low level monsters. I saw Elizabeth in there. Gerda's buffs were on him, so he looks pretty cool. Might be pretty good defense, arena team, or Altar Realm might be pretty good. He just looks like a good unit in general, plus he does something good. But as you can see, this is scheduled for March 18th, which is this Thursday. It'll be from 04 to 09, so 5 hours. That's going to be the morning time of the 18th, so look to not play from 04 to 09 until that update is actually released. Sometimes the updates do take a lot less time than they actually say. That's just the estimated time that it takes for it to update. Updates can be viewed in game by logging into that stuff. And thank you, dev teams, for actually putting a release date for this update this time. Like I said, it probably took a little bit longer just because they were adding in a new character to code in, plus they were adding in new content, which is Labyrinth. I wish they released the Labyrinth trailer just to give us kind of like a hindsight of what it's going to be like, but they did not do that just yet. Let's get into this. So, new content. Added new content, Labyrinth. Players mobilize all heroes owned to reach the highest floor possible for rewards. All battles are played in auto combat, so there is no manual play at all, and fixed to the fastest combat speed, so it will be the ×3 speed. So it should run pretty quick. Let's hope we get to actually pick what direction we're going in, since it is a labyrinth, at least that much. But all battle play will be in auto combat. You can earn labyrinth points as battle rewards, and various rewards can be purchased at the labyrinth store. Details will later be available through a Facebook post. So they might actually be releasing a Labyrinth post within maybe a couple days, because I think today is the 15th of March. So 3 days from now on Thursday, that will be when the update comes out. So look forward to seeing another video from me about just Labyrinth. Hopefully they just go over through that. The added new hero, Donovan. He is going to be pretty awesome. I guess he's a commander, they said in the trailer. Hidden strengths are available to be unlocked for this hero whenever he is released. They will have a drop rate up banner. You'll be able to get him in drop rate up, heroic summon, and spirit summon. They don't say advanced summon, but you'll be able to get him that way as well. Let's go over his stats and everything. So he is a 5-star. His class is a fighter, and his element is fire. His first skill, forward jab, uses the Altar Realm sword to inflict damage on the enemies within a target area. Successful hits have a 50% up to 6% chance to reduce the defense of enemies hit for 1 turn. This attack will always have an advantage over the enemy's element, so that's really good. So already a great arena unit, just because he will have an advantage just with his S1, hitting those like Esperanzas, hitting those Gerdas, just anybody they end up bringing in. So that's pretty good. S1's already looking pretty good, as well as does a defense debuff. Only for 1 turn. Maybe it goes up with hidden strength, but we'll have to see. S2 is attacks enemies within a target area, kind of like how Ifrit was, or Ifrit is, with her S3, I believe it is. He will target in a surrounding area, the same as her. If you have an active attack buff, this skill's damage increases when you have more active buffs. So same with Gerda, her S1 increases with more buffs. Additionally, your successful hits have a 50% chance to confuse enemies hit for 1 turn. Every successful hit reduces the cooldown of release Alter Realm energy by 1 turn. So if you have enemies surrounding him and he hits all those enemies, it doesn't say what turn or how many turns his cooldown is, but if you're hitting all those enemies, say you hit like 4 enemies and it's a 4-turn cooldown, just like Ifrit, whenever he hits all those enemies, next turn he comes, he's going to have that skill up again. So that's what that's saying. So that's pretty good. I like how Ifrit is, how she could keep cycling her turns as long as she's hitting the amount of the amount of enemies equal to the amount of cooldowns that skill does. Let's go over his. So this guy has 2 passives. First one is Planner Armor Protection. At the end of the turn, Donovan gains reflect damage for 1 turn and recovers his action gauge by 30%, up to 50%. Activates on Donovan's every odd number turn, so 1, 3, 5, so on and so forth after that. And at the start of for his second passive, Planner Armor, Berserk Mode, at the start of the turn, Donovan gains increased attack for 1 turn, mobility for 1 turn, and crit rate for 1 turn. Activates on Donovan's every even number turn. So I think in the trailer, it actually was with hidden strength, I believe it actually goes up 1 turn. So he'll have reflect for 2 turns and attack, mobility, and crit rate up for another 2 turns. I think that's what I saw, but I'm not too sure about that. But that's Donovan for you. I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's going to be really good in Arena, as well as TOH, any PvP or PvE scenario. He's just going to be really good. Alter Realm, he's going to be really good. Look for him in Alter Realm Natures. He should just carry pretty hard. Now let's go into hidden strengths that are going to be available after the update. Are going to be Titania, which is L&D, Dark Unit, Demeter, Nature Unit, 5-star, and Whitebeard. So there's going to be no 4 stars or no 3-star hidden strengths this go around. Balance adjustment for certain heroes in game. So Vivian, Hand of Freedom, you and surrounded allies gain debuff immunity for 1 turn and increase defense for 2 turns. After change, removes all debuffs from you and surrounding allies and grants them debuff immunity for 1 turn and increase defense for 2 turns. So I guess you guys are wondering why they are adding this part to it. So Vivian before change, it never said anything about removing buffs, but in code it says it does already remove all buffs when she uses the skill. So that's just the change. They're adding pretty much just a type, a text to that change, stating that it actually does remove debuffs. So that's what pretty much all these are, with Luminoria, Vesta, and Rhea. Another thing is Lakshmi. Cleansing Dance increases the defense of you and surrounding allies for 1 turn while removing 1 debuff. Successful removing debuffs from afflicted allies grant continuous recovery on them for 1 turn. So that was the before. After change, increases the defense of you and surrounding allies for 1 turn while removing 2 debuffs now. Successfully removing 2 debuffs from afflicted allies grants continuous recovery on them for 1 turn. I thought she was supposed to get nerfed. This sounds to me like she is getting buffed. She does not need a buff. She needs a nerf. There's just going to be way more locks in. I thought Gerda was going to be top healer in Arena, but now Locke is just here to stay. Another thing, at the end of the turn, every active buff on Lakshmi recovers the HP of all allies. Recovers 3% up to 6% of allies' max HP per buff. Applies up to 3 buffs. So each up to 3 buffs, that's what she would heal. And now after the change, at the end of the turn, every active buff on Lakshmi recovers the HP of all allies per buff. Lakshmi recovers the HP of all allies by 3%, up to 8% now of her max HP. Yeah, just got a 2% increase. But, I mean, it only applies 2 times now instead of 3 times. So, kind of a little nerf, but, I mean, I would say that's a pretty substantial buff to Locke. She is here to stay. She is not going anywhere. Yeah, I say what they need to do from these balance adjustments is take more heroes and do a full 1 update. Just balance everything. Just take every single hero that's already in the game. Some heroes more than others need a huge balance change. They need to outdo or not outdo. They just need to perform in certain areas better than they already do now. But last is Aset, Grace of Goddess. Before change, Aset evades death with Grace of Goddess, grants target ally with revive for 2 turns. After change, Aset evades death with Grace of the Goddess, grants a target ally with revive for 2 turns. HP percent increase when hero is revived from death. So instead of being like, I think she revived for, I think it was literally 0 HP. Now she's going to be able to revive, and those revived heroes are going to have a lot more HP when they are revived. Alterum, daily entry ticket amount reduced from 3 to 2. Number of tickets used has been reduced, and resulting rewards for one-time play have been increased. But there's a catch to that. We'll get down to that. Resulting rewards have changed overall. For all damage grades, you can now obtain 1 or more transmuting gem / amplifying gem for all damage grades. So that's pretty good. So D tier, just any tier all the way up to SS, you'll be able to get transmute or amplifying gems now. That's what it sounds like, I'm pretty sure, for all damage grades. Alterum points are now a guaranteed reward, and the amount distributed depends on the damage grade. Reduce the chance of winning silver coin rewards, which would frequently appear, which is really good. I like that change. Because why would you need to farm? You're trying to farm Alterum for different rewards. You already farm silver from Rune Dungeon if you're running it fast enough. So I think that's a great change. 3 crafting materials. Tome of Alterum, Jewel of Nether, and Ancient Dust do not appear as resulting rewards anymore. So those of you who kept saying, oh, just farm Alterum to get your hidden strengths. Now that's not a thing anymore, so you won't be able to get any of that stuff from Alterum. It is switching over to Labyrinth. Added an Alterum tab to the store. So now you'll be getting points from Alterum. You can use points to buy items such as memory shards. It says 7-day limit, 10 you could get per day, rune refining gem, etc. So this is where you are finally, they're adding something in. Instead of they could have just added a dungeon where you could have just fought like a boss to get all these amplifying gems. But I like this. It makes you want to farm Alterum a lot better and get a higher score now, which is really good because Alterum has gotten a lot easier, but also at the same time it has gotten a lot harder. And I'm trying to get that auto alter that is consistently 3 million. You only need to get 1 million to get SS, but consistently getting 3 million score or damage grade score, I guess you would be calling it. So look forward to those. I'm still testing out heroes, still trying to get heroes to 6-star. I think I counted the other day, I'm at 80 something now, 6 stars, so I'm getting there. Labyrinth is going to be pretty easy. And tomorrow, I'm going to record after this, but tomorrow I'll be releasing how I'm getting so many 6 stars, how I'm progressing my heroes to 6-star stage so fast. I wouldn't say so fast. I probably do about 5 to 10 6 stars per month. I try to, depending on how many summons I do or how many promotion fairies and how often I'm running Rune Dungeon. But yeah, look forward to definitely look forward to getting those rare amplifying gems and rare transmuting gems. Again, it's going to be RNG, so it looks like you can get 5, 10, 15 amplifying gems, and they're each going to be like Fire's going to have their own whatever they dropped. Nature's going to have the other tier. I forgot what each one drops. I just do them all. And then Water's going to have their own. So now you'll be able to craft more. Added a Labyrinth tab to the store. You can now use Labyrinth points to purchase items such as Tome of the Fairies. So Tome of the Fairies is actually Tome of the Altar. It's just getting changed now. And Jewel of Nether, etc. I don't really use Jewel of Nether all that much, or Ancient Dust, because I don't craft really. Some people have been telling me that I should make another crafting video. Crafting is just not worth it at this point. I'd rather get the silver to try to upgrade runes and refresh the shop than actually crafting or using that silver to craft, because then you're using up silver to try to get RNG chance at getting a rune, which most of the time it's going to be a crap rune. I'd rather just farm that rune, get silver, and if I get a good rune drop, try to roll 3, 6, 9, or 12 on that rune, and if it ends up being trash, I'll just sell that rune and then keep farming runes. But you'll be able to get some Mirror of Choice pieces, 4 stars, Legendary Scroll pieces. The Mirror of Choice 5-star, you'll be able to get 4 times, 7-day limit. And for Legendary Scroll, I think those, maybe Tome of Fairy as well, but definitely the 5-star is going to be the most popular. Legendary Scroll is probably going to be pretty cheap, so I'd pick those up. And then Tome of Fairies, I'd probably try to pick those up as much as you can. 4-star Mirror of Choice, that'd probably be the last thing, and I wouldn't worry about Jewel of Nether or Ancient Dust. You can get those passively. And if you're like me, you wouldn't use them all up in general. So store can purchase the Altar Realm entry ticket and Labyrinth tickets at the general store. So you'll be able to have more chances to farm Altar Realm and Labyrinth. Altar Realm, I think it says just one day limit, so you'll be able to maybe refill both your chances to go back into Altar Realm. But I think if it's like how it is already, you're not going to be able to use the same units for Altar Realm. So you might have to make 2 different Altar Realm teams if you're going to farm that hard. But we'll have to see when the update comes out. I'll be doing a part 3 when maybe a part 4. We'll see if they update or make another Labyrinth post. But definitely a part 3 of actually, once the update's live, I'll be going into the game and seeing what the changes. Maybe do a live session of Labyrinth and see where we get from there. This is going to be Donovan's Operate Up banner. I already told you guys about that. It's set up in whenever we went over the hero. Added illustrations to 3 costumes. So Tesla, Valkyrie, and Thea, I think they're called the school days or something about school. They're actually getting an actual art for their picture instead of before there was no art, or when you actually looked at the character you can actually see their outfit. You have to go to the 3D model, and then that's the only time you'd be able to see the outfit. They're actually getting their own art changed now, so that's pretty good. Definitely gonna pick up that Valkyrie because I use her a lot. Thea, I plan on picking up all of them. I get costume points passively, so I've never bought any costume points at all, or just to get costumes. And I'm about done with all the costumes. Collection. Added a new collection, added to Laurasia 3 collection for Donovan and Sonia. I thought Sonia was with someone else, but maybe not. Improvements. Battle AI targeting priority default setting has been changed. This is probably one of the bigger things about the update too. The same applies to both enemies and allies. So before change, when attacking, prioritize to attack enemies with which you have an elemental advantage over. After change, when attacking, prioritize to target/attack as many enemies as possible. So those AoE units, instead of hitting just one unit, and there's one unit right by them, they would hit both units now instead of just that one unit. Add an element advantage battle AI setting button within the auto combat settings pop-up. Auto combat default settings set to target as many enemies when attacking. So now you'll be able to change kind of through each one between either elemental advantage or as many as possible. Add a name for Tome of Alterrealm has been changed to Tome of the Fairy. You can no longer obtain Tome of Fairy in the Alterrealm. They can now be purchased at the Labyrinth exclusive store. So like I said before, that's where you're going to be getting those Labyrinth, or those Alterrealms, or I guess you Tome of the Fairies now. But I think they should drop in Labyrinth. We'll have to see on the later post when they said, where is it? Where did I pass it? Alterrealm. Oh, the Labyrinth. Details will later be available through a Facebook post. So we'll have to see when they have another Facebook post, hopefully between now and 3 days from now, but we'll have to see. But that's going to be all for you guys today. That's the update for you. Look for it. It's going to be live on the 18th, 04 to 09. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about these changes or the new hero, the Labyrinth mode, just anything about this update. And I'd like to hear you guys' insight on that. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.